Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jamaican Geologist YouTube channel. Today, we are celebrating the achievement of some remarkable women in geology in the Jamaican context. Then this is in honor of International Women's Month, which is celebrated every year in March. And I believe International Women's Day was the 8th of March. So this video is late, but it is very important, uh, as geology is often seen as a field dominated by men and particularly white men. So I deem this video to be very important. So let's dive in and meet the women. So we begin with Marjorie Sweeting, Dr. Marjorie Sweeting. She is a pioneer in the study of karst landscapes and limestone in Jamaica, and her research focused on caves and limestone formations, and it enhanced our understanding of groundwater systems and their interactions with the natural environment. And our work continues to influence how we approach karst geology in Jamaica and beyond, because she also did some work in China. But I want to pause and reference something which was very prominent in the news a few years ago. So when they were trying to define the cockpit country and this boundary, there were several boundaries proposed. There was the cockpit country stakeholders group boundary. There was the forestry boundary. But if you listen closely, there's about seven boundaries, but there was one boundary in particular that didn't get a lot of highlight, and that was the Sweeting boundary. And the Sweeting boundary was named after Marjorie Sweeting, of course. And Marjorie Sweeting defined the cockpit country based on the geomorphology of the landscape, the undulating hills, which are cockpits, as she was a geomorphologist, of course. So that's something to remember her by. That the cockpit country boundary, one of the boundaries was named after her. Next, we have Alison Fenton, whose contributions are documented in her work with the Jamaican government, and she played a significant role in compiling two publications, which, in my time working with the government, I had the opportunity to get my hands on. One of her publications was the Mineral Resources of Jamaica, and the other one was the Copper Prospects of Jamaica. And both publications, and her meticulous documentations of these publications has been invaluable for researchers and policymakers alike. And I know that for me, I've managed to gain an incredible understanding of the island's mineral resources primarily through her work, and it continues to shape the minds of many geologists today. Next, we have Margaret Wiggins Grandison, Dr. Margaret Wiggins Grandison. I've never met her, but I've I'm quite familiar with her work, both in my master's and just out of scientific curiosity. She's well respected in seismology, and seismology, of course, is the study of earthquakes. And her research has improved our preparedness for natural disasters and enhanced our knowledge of earthquake hazards in the region. And I'll share some of her papers in the description. Next, we have Margaret Artram, someone who I've worked quite closely with for a number of years. Uh, so Margaret Artram's experience lies in the study of metallic minerals in Jamaica. She has gone beyond the well-known bauxite deposits to research other valuable mineral resources found in the island. So when you think of copper, she's done a lot of work with copper. And her work, part of her work was what contributed to the Jamaica's first gold mine back in the early 2000s. So her work has contributed greatly to our understanding of Jamaica's geological wealth, and she continues to shape young minds today. And next we have Dr. Arpita Mandal, and she's a senior lecturer at UWI Mona, and she specializes in hydrogeology. So when you think of climate change and water resource management, that's Dr. Arpita Mandal. And her research addresses critical environmental issues affecting Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, particularly concerning water availability and sustainability. And finally, we have Dr. Shireen James Williamson, and she's a senior lecturer at UWI Mona, and her expertise lie in firstly geoscience education, sedimentology, petroleum geology, and she has been, a strong advocate for and hands-on learning, and she has shaped many minds, young minds, many of the people who worked in industry and have done geology at UWI. She has played a pivotal role in their development, including me. And I'll share a couple of her publications, but one of them that stands out to me is her work on geological heritage. She has published a paper with Margaret Artram, who was discussed earlier, on Jamaica's geological heritage. So there are many sites in Jamaica, such as Port Royal, parts of the Cockpit Country, Seven Rivers, and so on, that are considered to be geological heritage because of their unique geological value and their potential to be used as heritage site. And I'll discuss some of these in videos later on the channel, and I'll discuss that paper in particular. And I think it's a paper that needs to be highlighted, um, and it's quite interesting. So that's something to share later on the channel. So this list is by no means exhaustive. There are many, many geologists out there who are women who work in industry. Um, some of them, the names that readily come to mind, I think of Tashane Booth, I think of Herona Thompson, Gabrielle Gale. These are just younger women who are, growing their careers in geology. I think of Cheyenne Gage as another one. She worked with the government for a little while. Um, and there are many, many more out there. So this video is just to commemorate the work of women in the field, and this ends the videos for March. So March Madness has ended. I've uploaded 3 videos this month, and next month will be a special treat, so stay tuned for that. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in about another week's time with another video. So take care.